allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Here.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Present.
Councilmember Fitch.
Here.
Councilmember Gray.
Present.
Councilmember Clancy.
Here.
Councilmember Tracus.
Present.
Councilmember Harder.
Present.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
Is there a motion for approval of the journal of the meeting of March 3rd, 2020?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The March 3rd, 2020 journal is approved. At this time, a motion to suspend the rules is in order for the purpose of adopting and presenting the following resolutions. One, honoring the life of Keith Brooks. Another, recognizing that March is Women's History Month along with Women's Military History Week. Another, honoring the flag of the Vietnamese American immigrants living in St. Louis County. And finally, for the presentation of a proclamation by County Executive Sam Page to members of the League of Women Voters. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The rules are suspended. Please read resolution number 1.
Yes, Madam Chair. Resolution number 1, introduced by Council Members Clancy, Tracus, Days, Dunaway, Fitch, Walton Gray, and Harder. Whereas Keith D. Brooks was a man devoted to family, friends, and community. And whereas Mr. Brooks was a retired St. Louis County police officer who also served as a patrolman for the city of Jennings from 1973 through 1977. And whereas, after retirement, Mr. Brooks continued to support the law enforcement community as a South County Police Business Association member, president, and past president. And whereas Mr. Brooks was also a small business owner for 20 years and a longtime member of the Afton Chamber of Commerce, which recognized his leadership in the South St. Louis County business community by honoring him as their 2017 Business Person of the Year. And whereas, beginning in 2016, Mr. Brooks returned to public service as a member of the county's Planning Commission, and as a commissioner, he accumulated an outstanding attendance record and displayed remarkable thoughtfulness and respect for all communities in the discharge of his duties. And whereas, above all else, Mr. Brooks was a devoted and loving husband to Tony, father to Angela and Natalie, and grandfather of 3. And whereas, since he passed away on February 19, 2020, Mr. Brooks has been remembered by family, friends, and colleagues as a man of great kindness. And whereas, it is appropriate for the council and all St. Louis Countyans to pause to honor a life well lived. Now therefore be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the County Council offers its deepest condolences to the family and friends of Keith D. Brooks.
I move for adoption of resolution number 1. Second. Roll call.
Councilmember Days?
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway?
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 1, there are 7 ayes.
Resolution number 1 is adopted. And I would like to invite the family and friends of Keith Brooks to join me at the front, and anyone else from the council would like to join as well.
Sorry.
Keeping your feet warm?
Yeah. So the glasses and like, oh. Try them on. At least you got something.
But I figured it out.
At this time, County Executive Sam Page will present a proclamation to the League of Women Voters.
Thank you. So as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month, I proclaim today the League of Women Voters Day in St. Louis County. We recognize the work that the League has done to advocate for women and women voters in St. Louis County, and we all recognize the power of women to vote. Congratulations. You guys come down here. We'll get pictures.
Different one, sorry.
One more picture.
I thought about sitting in your
Here, it's fine.
switch things up a little. So maybe
One more. Two more.
Please read resolution, oh wait, it's you, sorry.
I have to say something first.
Go ahead.
I move for,
Please read.
please read resolution number 3.
Yes, ma'am.
She had to say something.
Resolution number 3, introduced by council members Walton Gray, Days, Dunaway, Fitch, Clancy, Tracus, and Harder. Whereas in 2010, President Barack Obama proclaimed the month of March as Women's History Month, and traditionally, the third week of March is observed as Women's Military History Week. And whereas women have served honorably and with courage in all of America's wars and conflicts since the American Revolution. And whereas, given that an unprecedented number of women are serving in the military dating back to Operation Enduring Freedom in response to 9/11, the United States Department of Veterans Affairs has worked to provide consistent, comprehensive, and quality health care and benefits to women veterans who served during all eras. And whereas, with a rapidly increasing number of women serving in the military today and returning from deployments as seasoned veterans, some with exposure to combat, VA facilities and veterans service organizations are working to ensure that the post-deployment physical and mental health needs of women veterans are also met. And whereas women veterans experience unique challenges that need to be addressed, including, including sexual trauma, counseling and care, homeless women veterans with children, women's health care, including breast cancer, osteoporosis, and post-traumatic stress disorder, and injured women veterans returning from war who formerly served as primary family caregivers. And whereas there are currently over 45,000 women veterans in Missouri, and it is estimated that 30 to 40% of them have not yet applied for veterans services. And whereas the Missouri Veterans Commission is dedicated to ensuring that all women veterans, past, present, and future, have equitable access to federal and state veteran services, and to ensuring women veterans are aware of their VA benefits. Now therefore, be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the County Council extends its most sincere gratitude to all women veterans, particularly the many living in St. Louis County, for their courageous and selfless service to America and the people of St. Louis County, and urges all to observe and celebrate Women's History Month and Women's Military History Week by recognizing and honoring the history, accomplishments, and contributions of women and women veterans in St. Louis County and throughout America.
Thank you. So with that, I'd like to recognize Staff Sergeant Alexis Johnson Bryce. She's a retired combat veteran.
Councilwoman,
We have to.
we have to, you have to
Before-
adopt it.
okay.
Yep.
I move for the adoption of resolution number 3.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days?
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway?
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 3, there are 7 ayes.
Resolution number 3 is adopted.
With that, I'd like to recognize Staff Sergeant Alexis Johnson Bryce. She's a retired combat veteran who served 25 years in the U.S. Army Reserve. She served in Kuwait. She served in Kuwait during Desert Storm in 1990 and Baghdad during Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003. And her dream is to represent women who serve in the military. And if you all want to join me, quite okay. Thank you.
And I want to recognize Karen A. Pierre. Karen, would you come forward, please? Karen served over 21 years in the United States Army. Pierre's assignments included tours in Italy, Germany, and South Korea. Some of her primary responsibilities included managing the Office of the Inspector General, representative of the Office of Equal Opportunity, an instructor at the Non-Commissioned Officers Leadership Academy, and manager of the International Student Officers Detachment of Fort Leonard Wood. She retired in 1998 with the rank of Sergeant First Class. Karen earned her bachelor's degree in science from Columbia College while serving in the Army and raising a family. She's an active member of board member of the USO United Services Organization of Missouri, board member of the Normandy Schools Collaborative, committee woman Normandy Township, board member Kiwanis Club of Normandy, member of North County Incorporated, member of the Women of America, and former alderperson in Greendale. And thank you so much.
No, you haven't.
Is there another one?
Yes.
No, she was the same
Can I
resolution.
just stay down there?
Huh? That was the same resolution.
Getting our steps in tonight.
True story.
Still haven't.
It's not that often you get this many steps in during a council meeting.
And finally, please read resolution number 2.
Yes, Madam Chair. Resolution number 2, introduced by Councilmember Clancy. Whereas the St. Louis region has long been a destination for Vietnamese Americans and is home to a large number of Vietnamese Americans and residents of Vietnamese descent. And whereas for nearly 5 decades, the St. Louis Vietnamese community has made substantial contributions to the cultural, religious, business, and commercial identity of St. Louis County. Whereas Vietnamese Americans are recognized throughout our community for their passionate love for freedom and democracy. And whereas on July 8, 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed Executive Order 11,231 to establish the Vietnamese yellow flag with 3 red stripes as the symbol of the Vietnam Service Medal, which was awarded to all members of the Armed Forces of the United States serving in Vietnam from 1965 through 1973. And whereas this flag is widely embraced because of its long history as a symbol of resilience, freedom, and democracy, both in Vietnam and in the Vietnamese American community in this country. And whereas many American and Vietnamese men and women fought together during the war to preserve the flag and the values that it represents. And whereas the vast majority of Vietnamese Americans embrace the yellow with 3 red stripes, heritage, and freedom flag as the official symbol of the Vietnamese American community. Now therefore be it resolved by the County Council of St. Louis County, Missouri as follows. Section 1, the County Council extends its sincere gratitude to the thousands of Vietnamese Americans living in St. Louis County for their outstanding contributions to St. Louis County and the region as a whole, recognizes the yellow with 3 red stripes heritage and freedom flag as the symbol of the Vietnamese American community in St. Louis County, and states its support for displaying this symbol of the Vietnamese American community.
I move for adoption of resolution number 2.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days?
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway?
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch?
Aye.
Councilmember Gray?
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy?
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus?
Aye.
Councilmember Harder?
Aye.
Madam Chair, on resolution number 2, there are 7 ayes.
Resolution number 2 is adopted.
Oh, there's Christine. Coming down the side. Where? There. See it? Okay.
Thank you all so much. All right. We will move on to bid openings. We have no bid openings this evening, so we will move to communications.
Madam Chair, we have no tax compromises this evening, so we will move to zoning matters. Under zoning matters, item number 1, 3rd District.
Please hold on the order of business.
So ordered.
Item number 2, 4th District.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
We have no road and bridge matters this evening, so we'll move to other communications. Under other communications, item number 1.
Receive and file, same motion for item number 2, and that will be the order.
Item number 3.
Receive, file and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 5, and that will be the order.
Item number 6, 2nd and 7th districts.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 7, 5th district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion for item number 8, and that will be the order.
Item number 9, 7th district.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 10, 2nd district.
Receive, file, and the change of managing officer be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 11, 2nd district.
Receive, file, and the matter be held on the order of business.
So ordered.
Item number 12, 2nd district.
Receive, file, and the matter be held on the order of business.
So ordered.
Item number 13, all districts.
Receive, file, and the appropriation transfer be approved as requested.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 14.
Receive, file, and the county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation. Same motion through item number 17, and that will be the order.
Item number 18, 5th district.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 19.
Receive, file, hold on the order of business, and refer to the council as a committee of the whole. Same motion for item number 20, and that will be the order.
Item number 21.
Receive and file, and that will be the order.
Item number 22.
Receive, file, hold on the order of business, and refer to the council as a committee of the whole, and that will be the order. There are no add-ons this evening. We will proceed with the report from the county executive.
Thanks, Lisa. Good evening, everyone here in the council chambers. I know that some people are staying home tonight out of caution, so I want to say a special good evening to those of you watching on YouTube. First tonight, an update on the county's response to the coronavirus. Earlier this afternoon, the council and the public heard from our emergency management personnel and our director of public health. And I don't want to repeat what's already been said. There may be more questions from me or county officials in follow-up, and we look forward to addressing those remaining questions as they develop, and we receive them from council members. From my perspective, as a medical doctor, I understand how this virus can impact our community, and it's a challenge. We understand that. But we are all working together to make sure that the spread of the coronavirus is as limited as possible. We have prepared for this. We will continue to educate the public about prevention, and we are responding to a recent test result with all the resources of county government. We have strategically mobilized our resources, and we have partially activated the Emergency Operations Center. We are collaborating with the CDC, the State Health Department, our regional partners, including first responders, and our healthcare institutions. I've spoken to the elected leaders of Jefferson County, St. Charles County, and Franklin County, and the City of St. Louis. My staff and I have spoken with some of our region's largest employers, the CEOs of healthcare institutions, and other regional leaders. And we are collaborating with those jurisdictions around the country who are also confronting this challenge head-on. I know many of in our region are worried or even angry. I understand those feelings, and I even shared those feelings from this very situation. One thing I learned in my medical practice is that you never want to make a decision when you're worried or angry. I want to be clear, worrying and being angry will not determine our course of action. Our course of action will be responsible and professional. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you. We will move on now to the public forum portion of our evening. This evening, we have 13 speakers. I want to remind everyone that each speaker will have 3 minutes to speak. You're being timed, and the clerk will let you know when your 3 minutes is up. I also want to remind everyone that we ask that you please stay quiet during the public forum of the meeting unless you are the speaker. Please refrain from clapping, shouting, making any other verbal or otherwise heard interjection so that we can keep things moving smoothly and so we can hear the next speaker's name when they are called. Repeat offenders of this request will be warned, and if it keeps happening, you may be escorted out. We look forward to hearing your comments tonight during public forum. Madam Clerk, please call the first speaker.
First speaker, Michael McCartney.
Hello, I am Sergeant Mike McCartney. I have been employed with St. Louis County Police Department for nearly 23 years. I am currently assigned as a watch supervisor for the Bureau of Security Services over the police and security officers, some of who are here tonight. There are approximately 43 security officers employed by St. Louis County Police Department. These officers are employed as professional staff. Security officers are the first line of defense for the safety and security of the St. Louis County Government Center, the 21st Judicial Court Building, St. Louis County Police Headquarters, and the St. Louis County Justice Center. Not only do they secure these facilities, but under our control are 5 others. These include 4 health clinics, the Pine Lawn Clinic, South County Clinic, the Murphy Clinic, and the Northwest Crossing Government Center, along with the Emergency Communications Center. The employees and visitors who work and visit these facilities depend on them for their safety and security every day. The position of security officer requires extensive specialized training and the unique mindset that the safety of others comes before their own personal safety. These unique factors require attracting and retaining the special people that put their safety above their own, and put people's safety above their own. St. Louis County has a fiduciary duty toward these security officers, which includes the investment of providing them with appropriate level of compensation that reflects the level of responsibility and professionalism required from these officers. By properly investing in security personnel, quality candidates will be attracted, retention will increase, long-term St. Louis County funds will be properly utilized, and St. Louis County will maintain the position of a quality employer who offers and cares for the employees' careers, not only just providing them with a job. As a watch supervisor, I see on a daily basis the superior performance put forth by not only security officers employed by St. Louis County, but all professional staff employees. I urge you to perfect or pass Bill number 73 before you and give the appropriate level, the appropriate level of compensation that is required and deserved among the professional staff employed by St. Louis County.
Next speaker, Adolphus Pruitt.
Adolphus Pruitt, President, St. Louis City NAACP, 4811 Delmar. I did provide some written testimony. I won't read it to you that way, but members of the council, there seems to be maybe alarm at the gate. As you know, back in April of 2018, we worked hard and you approved a minority and women-owned business enterprise program. And within that program, embedded in there was a payment verification clause, and it reads, St. Louis County should establish a payment verification program. Payments made to MWB subcontractors should be verified in order to monitor compliance and prompt payment act based on the Missouri revised statutes. The payment verification system should allow subcontractors to electronically notify St. Louis County of late payments or non-payments in real time, and each subcontractor listed as paid for the previous billing cycle should be electronically contacted to verify that payment was received, and this program was supposed to be conducted by the Division of Purchasing. Thus, we are perplexed because it's come to our attention that contractor J.M. Mashort's construction company has went for times, my understanding, as long as 9 months without paying subcontractors, and at one point in time was in arrears to a minority subcontractor in excess of $900,000. That the county became aware of it, ceased making payments to him, but somehow the county began to remake payments to him without assuring that he made any performance as relates to making up those payments. It's also come to our attention that this same contractor also had a performance bond, was contracted by the county to remove and install underground storage tanks for the county, and that at some point in time he was required to have a bonding of a certain amount and requested and got his bonding reduced, thus put the county at risk in case he does not perform. And I have no idea who Jennifer Keating is. I just know the title is Deputy Director of Administration and Acting Director of Procurement. And it seems that her fingerprints may be involved on all of this, not only this phone contract that involved just the services, but also this stuff about this non-payment and repayment and bond reduction. You know, at the end of the day, and we fought hard for this particular bill. We compromised quite a bit with labor, with AGC, with everybody else that came to the table. We compromised and came up with what we thought was a great piece of legislation for the county
Madam Chair,
and
that's 3 minutes.
protected everybody. But in this instance, those protections not in place. You just lost your director. I would recommend that we bring the director back.
Can you finish your remarks, Mr. Pruitt?
I will. The NACP will cover the expense at no expense to the county. Let's bring the director back, have him get testimony for the council, and let's find out what's going on with the program.
Next speaker, Mikhail Ali.
Good evening. I'm Mikhail Ali. I represent an organization called the African American Business and Contractors Association. And we're here out to represent some of the contractors out of concern since Jack Thomas has left, that's been talking the streets about breaking up his team. And I think I want to kind of paraphrase something. We've been talking about infectious disease, but there's an infectious disease that the African Americans have been suffering with. It's called economical inequality, not getting our fair justice. We've been suffering from that too long, and Dolphins and them have been working hard. Every time we work hard, it seems there's a plot to undermine that we can't get our just due economically in America. That's not fair, that's not just. Many of us thought, because Stinger was leaving, things was going to change. But it appears the names and the faces have changed, but the name of the game is still the same. You don't tend to do the right thing. An election is coming up. Now, you can't put a fox over the hen house. Jack trained those people. They're good people. They know how to represent African Americans. You can't put any outsider coming out who's carrying water for the majority and think we're going to stand for it and continue to get economical injustice. That's not fair. Since you're a medical man and you can deal with issues like the coronavirus, deal with this infectious disease because it's rotting on the community. We got a future for our children, and it's going to be a spring, and it's warm coming up. These young people are not going to stand for it. And if we got to tolerate and shut things down, we will. We will. We had 4 years of Trump. It's enough of that. Stinger go. We look for you and your staff to do better, but it's politics as usual. We ain't tolerating that, man. Not in America, not no more.
Next speaker, Vito Salomon.
Good evening. My name is Vito Salomoni. I'm a St. Louis County Police Department employee, civilian employee of this Friday, be 43 years. And Rachel Major, who's been appearing before you quite frequently, she wasn't born when I started the County Police Department. I wanted to say that many would look at me and see my loss of my right arm occurred at the age of 19 at a factory accident. And many would consider me to be handicapped. I don't consider myself to be handicapped. But I remember the first time I became aware that other people viewed me as such in a particularly difficult moment seeking employment after I recovered. There was a help wanted sign at a business, and I went in inquiring. The woman went to her husband. She said, "Yeah, we need somebody." She didn't notice from the angle that my arm was gone. And when the man husband saw, me there, he saw my arm and he said, "Oh, no, we don't need anybody." And so he made some assumptions on what I could do, and he put limitations, and so he basically, I was handicapped. For the first time, that stigma hit me, and what it meant to other people hit me, that in the eyes of others I was handicapped, but in my heart I was not, and I've never felt that. And when I was given finally an opportunity by St. Louis County Police Department all those years ago to prove myself and to just, and I wasn't treated as a handicapped person or as any other kind of person. I was just treated as another employee, and I always appreciated that. Given the opportunity, I think I proved myself, and I've enjoyed these many years with the County Police Department. I must say, though, as a civilian employee, we often have felt as the redheaded stepchildren sometimes, kind of the forgotten, unsung heroes of the department, and the appropriate compensation for us just really hasn't been there. I am 43 years on this department, and to this date, I am not topped out, and have never been topped out in my career. And I've had two small increases, promotions over the years, one a couple years in, another 16 years ago. 16 years in my current position, not starting from the beginning of that position, in the salary queue, but somewhere in the middle of it, and I'm still not topped out. In 2008, our 5% every year annual increases disappeared.
Madam Chair, that's 3 minutes.
And
Sir, please finish your remarks.
so we appreciate the appropriate compensation for our employees. The things that have been done last year have helped, but they've only brought us partway out of a hole. We're still deep in that hole, and we need assistance, and appreciate your consideration in the approving of this bill before you for the professional staff of the St. Louis County Police Department. Thank you for your time.
Next speaker, Greg Porter.
Good evening, members of the council. My name is Greg Porter, number 6 Crookham Court, unincorporated North St. Louis County, Council District 4. I'm also the president and secretary of the Paddock Forest Residents Association and the chairman of the North St. Louis County Problem Solving Committee, which incidentally is in its 19th year, which was started by a former precinct commander, Robert Trittler, who has since long retired as a major in headquarters. At last week's council meeting, you heard from Suzanne Collier and Patricia Stroh of South County about an ongoing problem property in their neighborhood. Thanks to Councilman Tracus's office acting as a facilitator, and as a result of the efforts of Officer Robert Rink of the St. Louis County Police Problem Properties Unit, an order to vacate was issued and a property was subsequently cleaned up. We used to have Officer Rink in the North County Precinct up until a few years ago, but due to a chain of events, he requested a transfer to the Central County Precinct. We want and need Officer Rink back in the North County Precinct, as he is a model of what a problem properties officer should be. At the February 13th North County Police Town Hall meeting, residents in North County were introduced to their new captain and NPO sergeant. Captain Tim Cunningham replaced Captain Guy Means, and Sergeant Jim Molden replaced Sergeant Charlie Rodriguez. Those in attendance were very happy and welcomed the new leadership as a sign of positive change. At that meeting, a resident, Joanne Crump, asked the question as to the whereabouts of our problem properties team, which consists of Officer Jasper Dace and Public Works Inspector Phil Jones. I raised my hand and said that we had not heard nor seen them since our last monthly meeting with Captain Means and Sergeant Rodriguez, which was a couple of years ago. With regard to Officer Dace, one of my North County area leaders said that at the Spring 2019 Citizens Police Academy, Officer Dace showed some before and after slides of some homes that had been destroyed by bad tenants. He told the group that he was very proud that the homes were repaired and that he let the same bad tenants move back in. Anyone with common sense knows that this is not a solution to the neighborhood problem. The important point here is that we are not getting the same level of service from these two individuals as we did when Officer Rink was in the North County Precinct. As such, I'm requesting that Chief Belmore or his successor move these two individuals to another precinct. As I've said many times, We know that we have a tougher challenge in North County than others do in West and South County. But we are vigilant in maintaining and preserving neighborhoods with regard to problem properties, property maintenance, and vehicle violations. As such, all relevant county departments, Public Works, Health, the police, and the prosecutor's office, prosecutors in this county counselor's office, need to collaborate in investigating, addressing, citing, and prosecuting county ordinance offenders, because in the interest of neighborhood stabilization and preservation, we are not going to accept anything less. I'm going to leave a copy of my comments with the clerk, and a copy will be emailed to Chief Bellman.
Next speaker, Rachel Major.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rachel Major. I'm the representative for the police staff for the St. Louis County Police Department. And the effect of COVID-19 on our community's operation has become a reality of daily evolution and operations for almost everyone. The Emergency Operations Center has been charged with the coordination of local, state, and federal public health organizations to protect our officers and our community. As an entirely non-commissioned police center, 100% of that coordination is the responsibility of the police staff. The EOC staff employees are an amazing crew of unsung heroes. Natural disasters, hazardous situations, extreme weather, civil unrest, and looming possibilities of pandemic are all in a day's work for these folks. When disaster strikes, the response to come to the rescue for the public in our county is a team led by one of the first police staff women who's risen to the top of our police department's command. Michelle Ryan's leadership in the EOC has encouraged a team built with people that are the best for the job regardless of race, gender, nationality, or any other circumstances. A small unit in comparison to the entire staff, but a good model that reflects the diversity seen throughout the staff as a whole. As I represent that group with all of its diverse professional responsibilities, I have discovered how beautiful and unique that same group is on a personal level as well. They have all come together in a remarkable manner given the circumstances. This group has been put together with hope and conviction over the past 3 years and has ignored and worked through all attempts to undermine and divide them. They don't work in the same buildings, they don't have the same jobs, they don't come from the same background, they don't share the same faiths or beliefs in their personal lives. None of that mattered when the time came to come together as one group to better the working conditions for all. Just like it doesn't matter to the folks at the EOC that they are working 12 to 14 hours a day for as long as it takes to make sure that the community and the officers who protect them are taken care of. Labels that could define them, such as single mother, immigrant, lesbian, disabled, they have no place in the EOC. They are not divided by anything. They are a team of unity and strength. The only attributes that are important to the staff are professional abilities and work ethic, and we have proven time and again that we can get the job done. Thanks to nurturing and strong leaders like Michelle, the staff at the EOC and department-wide don't hesitate to come together when crisis comes knocking at the door. This evening, I ask again that you support the approval of the staff CBA. We are all together, and the officers and community are with us. Thank you.
Next speaker, Izora Liggins.
Good evening, Izora Liggins. On last week, I gave a handout to some of the dialogue that was exchanged before Judge Baker in the matter of Liggins versus McGee on February 13th. I am still overwhelmed by the fact that I paid for a trial de novo that never happened, and the charges I filed in the prosecuting attorney's office have never been investigated. Councilman Trancas, you recommended if my due process rights had been violated, the appropriate step would be to address the matter by way of the courts. It is hard to imagine that I was concerned about due process in the prosecuting attorney's office then, and now I'm concerned about due process violations in the courts. The county counselor's office openly filed false pleadings and perjured testimony and resorted to lies and trickery to win. How do I find fairness hidden in all of that? I expressed early on before this governing body my fears regarding what was going on in the administration of this entire proceeding. I have asked that the clerk responsible for the docket entries to come forth and explain her docket entries and make the necessary corrections to accurately depict the matters taken up and the resolutions of those matters. Unfortunately, the need to resolve issues do not end because one cannot find legal counsel. For most people, unresolved issues lead to bigger problems or aggravate existing ones. I know that the problem I face in the court is not my problem alone. The Department of Justice report revealed that the courts here are constitutionally deficient. And a Post-Dispatch report stated that the courts are divorced from public safety. The Missouri Commission on Racial and Ethnic Fairness is currently looking into court reform. I ask, what is this governing body to do to protect residents until reform is implemented? When I enter into the court building, I go through security to ensure all are safe. Where is the taxpayers' protection when we are attacked by weapons we cannot see, such as a judge's obstruction of justice by way of court orders or a clerk tampering with public records? The results are equally as traumatizing. I did not come to the court looking for a desired outcome, but as a taxpayer and citizen in this county, I do expect due process, equal protection, and basic fairness. Thank you.
Next speaker, Christina Lee.
Good evening. I'm the current president of the St. Louis Vietnamese community. I didn't get to speak earlier because we were overexcited about the resolution, but the words "thank you" are only two simple words, but it means a lot to us. It's a very, very deep, sincere thank you that I represent the St. Louis Vietnamese city and county Vietnamese people that migrated to here. 16 years ago, there were some older gentlemen who could not speak English and did not even know the law, and they struggled to try to get a resolution for the freedom flag that they brought with them after the war. And they were able to accomplish that. Over the past few years, we had trouble of organization, but we are so grateful for your attention, your time, and your understanding to let us carry on that freedom flag that not only the Vietnam veterans, the American soldiers, but the Vietnam soldiers have fought and died for, and all the immigrants who have traveled overseas and all the woods to get here to keep their freedom and to pass it on to me as a child of an actual soldier of the Vietnam War. He couldn't be here before, he's ill, my dad, but I wanted to thank him on his behalf at the St. Louis Vietnamese community. Thank you so much. This marks the 45th year of the fall of Vietnam of Saigon. We will have our event on the 26th of April at Bayless High School Auditorium. If you can please find a time to maybe join us for that event, we would be so grateful to introduce you to the community that are so grateful here to your day. We don't have that many people came with us today because we wanted it to be a surprise, but I think the word got out already. So thank you so much.
Madam Chair.
Councilman
If I may.
Tracus.
Ms. Lee, I just wanted to say thank you and your community, because you represent everything that is America. And it's just a great blessing to see you all here. What you bring as an ethnic group, what you bring in terms of your core values is exactly what America is. America is a country of immigrants. So,
It's voting day.
right, exactly. So thank you and all the people that came with you for what you do.
Thank you, sir.
Next speaker, John Stillman.
Good evening. My name's John Stillman. I'm a Vietnam Army combat veteran. I spent 1967 and 68 in Vietnam. Got to know a lot of Vietnamese, but never got to know like I did here, the ones in St. Louis, on a different time, not in war. I want to thank you for this resolution on my behalf and also the Vietnam veterans in the St. Louis area, St. Louis County, And I also want to thank it for brothers that were with me that did not come home. In that time period that I was there, 152 guys were killed with me that didn't come home. And they were fighting for that freedom flag, and I just want to be their spokesperson for them. Thank you.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Next speaker, Trey Nagayan.
Okay. Okay.
Next speaker, Bang Du. That was our final speaker then.
Thank you. That concludes the public forum. Please proceed with introduction of bills.
Bill number 74, introduced by Councilmember Clancy, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to accept an additional grant of up to $47,244 from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, appropriating the same for support of expansion of leased space for the police department and authorizing execution of related documents. Bill number 75, introduced by Councilmember Clancy, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with Landis and Associates LLC and the Leadership Effect LLC for consulting services pertaining to the Children's Service Fund's implementation of an operational change management plan and departmental strategic plan. Bill number 76, introduced by Councilmembers Dunaway and Harder, an ordinance authorizing the county executive on behalf of St. Louis County, Missouri, to submit an application and execute necessary documents to join the Missouri Clean Energy District. Bill number 77, introduced by Councilmember Clancy, an ordinance authorizing the county councilor to execute a contract with Jackson Lewis PC for outside legal counsel in relation to the matter of St. Louis Police Officers Association versus St. Louis County and other matters related to labor organization in the Office of the Prosecuting Attorney. Bill number 78, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway, an ordinance authorizing the county executive to execute a contract with M3 Engineering Group PC for consulting engineering services in connection with replacement of James S. McDonald Boulevard, Bridge number 164 over Coldwater Creek, AR-1518. Bill number 79, introduced by Councilmembers Harder and Dunaway, an ordinance appropriating and setting apart the sum of $6 million from the unappropriated balance of the Convention and Recreation Trust Fund for certain ball fields in Hazelwood, Missouri, upon the terms and conditions described herein.
Madam Chairwoman, Madam Chairwoman, I would like to move Bill number 79 to perfection in the order of business.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 79 is advanced to the perfection order of business.
Madam Chairwoman, I would like to move to perfect Bill number 79.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 79 is perfected.
Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to also move for advancement of Bill 79 to final passage in the order of business.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 79 is advanced to the final passage order of business.
Thank you. Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to...
Chair, shall I read the bill for final passage?
Sure.
Bill number 79, introduced by Councilmembers Harder and Dunaway.
Madam Chairwoman, I'd like to move for final passage of Bill number 79.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill 79, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 79 is finally passed.
Madam Chair, that was all the bills.
All right, we will proceed with perfection.
Bill number 20, introduced by Councilmember Harder.
Please hold.
Bill number 20 is held.
Substitute Bill number 1 for Bill number 385, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway. Madam Chair, we have a substitute bill.
Please read the substitute bill.
Substitute Bill number 2 for Bill number 385, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway, an ordinance amending Chapter 1202 of Title 12, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974, as amended, Traffic Code, by repealing and reenacting Section 1202.010 pertaining to definitions, amending Chapter 1210, Title 12, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974 as amended, regulations for bicyclists by repealing and reenacting Section 1210.050 and adding a new Section 1210.055 pertaining to riding bicycles on roadways, and amending Chapter 1212, Title 12, St. Louis County Revised Ordinances 1974, as amended by adding and enacting a new Section 1212.175 and a new Section 1212.200 pertaining respectively to drivers passing bicyclists and to vulnerable road users.
I move for the adoption of substitute Bill 2 for Bill number 385.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Substitute Bill number 2 for Bill number 385 is adopted.
Madam Chair, I move to perfect substitute Bill number 2 for Bill number 385.
Second.
Madam Chair, if I may.
Councilman Tracus.
Thank you. Before we vote on this, I do want to thank Councilwoman Dunaway for working with me. She knows I have significant concerns about this legislation with respect to what it will do to a host of issues regarding safe travel on public roads. And she did work with me, and we did reach some accommodations. However, I have ongoing concerns. And so I think that it would behoove this body to defer perfection on this bill while we can continue to vet those concerns. That's all I have. Thank you.
I move to perfect substitute Bill number 2 for Bill number 385.
I think I did second already.
Second. All right, we will vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right, the motion does carry. Substitute Bill number 2 for Bill number 385 is perfected.
Bill number 5, introduced by Council Members Fitch, Tracus, and Harder.
This is the opportunity to put on the ballot in November, the red light camera, speed camera, to ban those in St. Louis County. I'm still awaiting a committee of the whole meeting date, so it'll be held on the order of business until then.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Bill number 5 is held.
Bill number 32, introduced by Councilmember Tracus.
Please hold.
Bill number 32 is held.
Bill number 36, introduced by Councilmember Fitch.
Please hold.
Bill number 36 is held.
Bill number 65, introduced by Councilmember Days.
I move to perfect Bill number 65.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 65 is perfected.
Bill number 66, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I move to perfect Bill number 66.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 66 is perfected.
Bill number 67, introduced by Councilmember Fitch.
I move to perfect Bill number 67.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 67 is perfected.
Bill number 68, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 68.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 68 is perfected.
Bill number 69, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I move to perfect Bill number 69.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 69 is perfected.
Bill number 70, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 70.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 70 is perfected.
Bill number 71, introduced by Councilmembers Walton Gray and Tracus.
I move to perfect Bill number 71.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 71 is perfected.
Bill number 72, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 72.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 72 is perfected.
Bill number 73, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move to perfect Bill number 73.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Bill number 73 is perfected. Final passage.
Bill number 320, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
We will hold Bill number 320. Bill number 320 is held.
Bill number 14, introduced by Councilmembers Tracus, Days, Dunaway, Fitch, Walton Gray, Clancy, and Harder.
Move to hold Bill number 14, please.
Bill number 14 is held.
Bill number 57, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move for final passage of Bill number 57.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 57, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 57 is finally passed.
Bill number 58, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move for final passage of Bill number 58.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 58, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 58 is finally passed.
Bill number 59, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move for final passage of Bill number 59.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 59, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 59 is finally passed.
Bill number 60, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move for final passage of Bill number 60.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 60, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 60 is finally passed.
Bill number 61, introduced by Councilmember Walton Gray.
I move for final passage of Bill number 61.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 61, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 61 is finally passed.
Bill number 62, introduced by Councilmember Clancy.
I move for final passage of Bill number 62.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 62, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 62 is finally passed.
Bill number 63, introduced by Councilmember Fitch.
I move for final passage of Bill number 63.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 63, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 63 is finally passed.
Bill number 64, introduced by Councilmember Dunaway.
I move for final passage of Bill number 64.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilmember Days.
Aye.
Councilmember Dunaway.
Aye.
Councilmember Fitch.
Aye.
Councilmember Gray.
Aye.
Councilmember Clancy.
Aye.
Councilmember Tracus.
Aye.
And Councilmember Harder.
Aye.
Madam Chair, on Bill number 64, there are 7 ayes.
Bill number 64 is finally passed. Moving on to resolutions.
Madam Chair, we have no additional resolutions this evening, so we'll move to unfinished business. Under unfinished business, item number 1.
I move for the appointments to be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 2.
I move for the reappointment of Robert Muckler be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And I move for the reappointment of Angela Hilsinger Courtney be held on the order of business, and that will be the order.
Item number 3.
I move for the reappointment be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Item number 4, Fourth District.
The county council is directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Item number 5,
I move for the appointments of Melinda Beer, Janet Chipperfield, DVM, Paul Simon Cosby, Robert Lloyd, Casey Meyer, Linda Moore, Dale Shooter, and Lieutenant Jack Webb be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries, and we will hold the appointment of Katie Willis on the order of business. And that will be the order.
item number 6,
I move for the appointment be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
item number 7,
We will hold this on the order of business, and that will be the order.
item number 8,
The appointment be approved as recommended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
item number 9, Second District.
The county councilor be directed to prepare the appropriate legislation.
So ordered.
Moving on to new business, Madam Chair, we have 2 prepared orders this evening.
Yeah. Oh.
I move for the adoption of order number 1.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Order number 1 is adopted.
And I move for the adoption of order number 2.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Order number 2 is adopted.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Well, before we adjourn, I think we should let everyone know about that we're on recess next.
Yes, we are recessing next week. We will reconvene on March 24th. Motion to adjourn? So moved.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The meeting's adjourned. Thank you.